Imagine your body temperature rises 1 degree centigrade or 2 degrees centigrade. Over a period of time, that would be fatal. And that's the seriousness of the issue when you look at it in terms of the ocean.
You forget what it looked like at the beginning. And some days when you go back, it's dead as far as you can see. I thought we would find bleaching. I thought we would capture it. But I don't think I ever prepared myself or thought we were going to see this.
That's a magical, miraculous, horrible, scary thing. I don't know that anybody's really seen the miracle and horror of that. It took 100 years for it to retreat 8 miles from 1900 to 2000. From 2000 to 2010, it retreated 9 miles. So in 10 years, it retreated more than it had in the previous 100.
This movement is in the tradition of every great movement that has advanced humankind.
We're not going to recognize it. We don't want to discuss it.
It is right to save humanity. It is wrong to pollute this earth. It is right to give hope to the future generations.
An empire of suffering and blood, paid for by consumers who are told that their treatment was ethical, free-range, local, organic, that their deaths were humane, that cruelty to animals doesn't happen here in our country, and if it does, our government, our authorities will find it and stamp it out.
And us, as consumers, have little reason to think otherwise. Because to eat and use animals is normal. We've done it forever.
Because the products for sale on supermarket shelves are so far removed from the individuals who once existed, some only briefly, some for years without reprieve.
People who were raised in Japan, the Philippines, Korea, China, never had heart disease, prostate cancer, colon cancer, breast cancer, rheumatoid arthritis, multiple sclerosis.
This is the atlas of cancer mortality in China.
Virtually the Western diet was non-existent. They had no animal products, they had no dairy, no meat.
We learned that we could turn on and turn off cancer growth just by adjusting the level of intake of that protein.
I knew at that point what caused most diseases.
Our national authorities are simply excluding this concept in order to protect the status quo.
I am David Attenborough, and I am 93. I've had the most extraordinary life. It's only now that I appreciate how extraordinary. The living world is a unique and spectacular marvel. Yet the way we humans live on Earth is sending it into a decline. Human beings have overrun the world. We're replacing the wild with the tame. This film is my witness statement and my vision of the future.
There is no perfect democracy or economic models, but what seemed to emerge from our journey was a new vision for the world, where each community is more autonomous, therefore more free.
En faisant tout à la main sur un tout petit territoire, peut produire autant qu'avec un tracteur sur un territoire 10 fois plus grand.
San Francisco has an 80% landfill diversion rate. Everything is reduced, reused, recycled, or composted.
See the final show now.
These people are writing a new story. They're saying it's not too late, but we have to get moving now.
The basic idea is that we want to tax bad activities that have negative side effects on other people in society. So we raise the price of cigarettes by putting a tax on cigarettes. People are going to consume fewer cigarettes. Climate change involves a variety of negative side effects and costs. A carbon tax forces people to take account of those costs. I think trying to appeal to people's social responsibility is really very, very hard because people have complicated lives and they have lots of things to worry about. They don't want to have to think about climate change every time they do every decision. They can't. And every time you turn on your car, are you supposed to think, uh-oh, what am I doing to the climate? What a carbon tax does is it nudges them in the direction of doing the right thing.
So let me get this straight. You're a Republican who wants more taxes.
Well, one of the important things to keep in mind is that if you have a carbon tax, you can turn around and cut other taxes in response. For example, payroll taxes. This is a tax shift rather than a tax increase.
We are releasing vast quantities of carbon dioxide, increasing the greenhouse effect. It may not take much to destabilize the Earth's climate, to convert this heaven, our only home in the cosmos, into a kind of hell.
Incoming light from the sun hits the surface. The Earth absorbs much of that energy, which heats the planet up and makes the surface glow in infrared light. But the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere absorbs most of that outgoing heat radiation, sending much of it right back to the surface. This makes the planet even warmer. That's all there is to the greenhouse effect. It's basic physics, just bookkeeping of the energy flow. Unlucky for us, the main waste product of our civilization is not just any substance. It happens to be the chief climate-regulating gas of our global thermostat, year in, year out. Too bad CO2 is an invisible gas. Maybe if we could see it. If our eyes were sensitive to CO2, and perhaps there are such beings in the cosmos. If we could see all that carbon dioxide, then we would overcome the denial and grasp the magnitude of our impact on the atmosphere.
With the lead male happy, they're ready to present their dance to a female. In a carousel of movements, each male takes his turn at the front. The lead male performs the final move. Have they done enough? What's her decision? All across our planet, crucial connections are being disrupted. The stability that we and all life relies upon is being lost. What we do in the next 20 years will determine the future for all life on Earth.